Hey there, welcome to my channel where I take you on tours of unique spaces and alternative homes. In this week's video, we're meeting back up with Kristie Wolfe, who's a pioneer in creating unique getaways, and she's gonna take us on a tour of her newest creation. We've made a few videos with Kristie before, and every single time she blows us away with her unique spaces. This time, she's gonna take us on a tour of a cozy cabin that she's built on 10 Mile Lake near the coast of Oregon. What's unique about this home is that it's actually a prefab that she had shipped over from Estonia. And I think once you see the inside of this amazing space, you're gonna wanna come and check it out for yourself. And if you like these kind of videos, make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you know every single time I publish a new tour.
Will you join me? Will you roll? Make this house our tiny home.
Hey, I'm Kristie Wolfe and I build unique vacation rentals, and I'm here to show you my latest one, the COCOON Cottage. I've been building unique Airbnbs since 2014 full-time. My first endeavor was a treehouse in Hawaii. That turned out to be really successful, so then I was able to build a HOBBIT hole in Chelan, Washington. I remodeled a fire lookout in the panhandle of Idaho. I converted a 6-ton promotional potato into a hotel in Boise. And then I have a shipwreck house in Salmon, Idaho. And now the COCOON house where we are today in Lakeside, Oregon. One of my girlfriends was looking for a place here in Lakeside, and so I took a road trip with her. It was a boat access only property. We stayed on the lake. It was really cool, fell in love with the place. A few months later, she sent me this property, and I jumped in the car with my mom to come check it out and got it that day. When I'm looking for a project, I kind of have a building in mind, and I had never had any experience with a prefab building. I saw this really cute one from a company called Igloo Craft, and they're manufactured in Estonia. I actually ended up getting one of their models and a sauna to put out here on the lake. Well, naively, I thought doing a prefab build would be super quick and easy, but that was not the case. With the supply chain shortage and then the ports being full, biggest challenge was shipping it from overseas. It was originally supposed to take 30 to 45 days and be $6,000. It took 9 months and $40-something thousand. I actually think that the shipping ended up being more expensive than the units. It's been a lot to overcome on this one. This property had power already, but it didn't have water. Luckily, this lot had 2 level building sites. I chose the one closest to the water, and then I had a buddy come up and we built the deck and the footings for the house so that when it came, it could just be dropped into place and set up against it. The unit came contained, so the electrical was already in, the plumbing's already in, even cabinetry and stuff were there. I started thinking of cottagecore, woodland creature vibes, and that came from just spending time living here in the forest, and everything's moss covered and there's deer in your yard every day. I build my places with the idea that you're coming here with somebody you love to get away. So I really want this to be a place where people can reconnect and enjoy nature and spend time together. And so the little touches that we have throughout are to enhance that. This is the outside of the home. This is what sold me on everything, is how cute this looks. The manufacturer is Igloo Craft and they're out of Estonia. The model that I went with is the Model 4, and it is 28 foot long and about 7.5 foot wide. I went with a cedar finish. I thought for this area and all the ferns and trees, I wanted to keep it natural. So this is a typical wood framed building in a not typical shape. the framing kind of looks like a bird cage or a deconstructed corset that give it that round shape, and everything is spray foam. So everything in the floor, in the walls. So of course all these windows allow you to be inside and all cozy if the weather might be rainy or stormy, and you can still see the beautiful lake. But we also put in some outdoor spaces too. My buddy and I built this deck before the house even came. So we had this 2-level deck with an outdoor bathtub and a seating area. So when the weather is good, you can enjoy this space as well. The cowboy tub, my pride and joy purchase. It's called that because it's tin, so they're really lightweight. This one has cast iron legs and a wood trim, and I'm keeping it all rustic because I love that look. And it's actually plumbed to the water heater and water inside the house. So you'll be able to fill this up with hot water and it drains into the septic. I really love the idea of being able to have a hot bath here and just enjoy the view of the lake. Okay, let me show you the inside. Welcome to the inside of the Cocoon. As you can see, it's all rounded in here and it's pretty narrow. It's snug, but that makes you feel like you're all cozy in here. When you enter into the door, you're at the kitchenette. This cabinet was already here, but everything was a bit more industrial looking. So I added some real wood to the outside to give them a little bit more character, and wood knobs, and took off all the metal things. And then I also made the countertop black. For this wall, I just took some scrap pieces and built a shelving unit here. Because the walls are so curved, it's a little challenging as far as what you're going to do. I thought that I could go much higher with shelves and hangings and things, and it's just not the case. So the walls start to curve at about this height. I put this shelf in. This was some scrap wood off of an antique table that I bought for the living area, and added a drink rack underneath. We have way too many glasses in this house, but it just turned out that way. So we got a bunch of mugs and glassware, and then I got really cute little elements kind of bringing in that forest vibe with the geese measuring cups and our owl utensil holder, and then these bunny salt and pepper shakers. And that's kind of all throughout the house, is those little nods to nature. Behind this door is what I think is like the little crown jewel of the house, which is the bathroom. Let me show you what we did. Bathrooms are a lot of times overlooked, but you know when you go to a really fancy restaurant and then you go into their bathroom and it's like the pinnacle? That's what I like to do as well. I don't want any space to be like, it doesn't really matter. So the original floor plan to this area was completely different. There was a wall here. I actually took out that wall. I was able to reuse the wood and bought a frameless shower kit off of Home Depot with the pan, and I put that together, but I added all these dried flowers that I got off of Etsy and poured resin over it. It was really difficult. I love the way it looks, but it was hard, especially as a one-woman job. The glass is extremely heavy before the resin, really heavy after the resin, and to carry that, it was difficult. And then I did what I did in my personal tiny home, which is to stucco the shower. So I went with this mauve-y pinkish color on the walls. It costs about $60 versus tile, which could easily be thousands of dollars even for a shower this size. So I love that. The toilet came in here. So basically this is what was here when it arrived. And then for a sink, going with that whole gardeny vibe, is this antique garden sink. And then the final thing I built was this shelving unit that is this crazy shape, and it blends in, so it looks like it's just the shelves, but there's a whole back area to it, and the whole thing lifts up and out because behind here there's a little cubby and access to the plumbing. Okay, let's go to the seating area next. This is the little seating area right off the kitchen and before the bed. It's really tight. Again, we only have about 7 foot here, so it took me a long time to find chairs that were comfortable, like an upholstered chair, but short enough. And I only could find cream ones. That will not do in muddy Oregon. So I actually took one of the rugs that I had originally had for the floor and put it on the chair just to protect it. And I was like, you know what? I think that could be a cool upholstery idea. And now it kind of looks like I have a more textured seating. This worked out really nice. I found this octagon end table. The angles of it fit up against the wall and kind of line up the arms of the chair. And then I can't tell you how many hours I spent on Facebook Marketplace, but I got this folding table, and what really sold me on it was the carved detail of the drawers here, but it is a drop leaf, so it folds up. You can move the legs over to hold it, bring in your chairs, and have a little dining table if you need it. So this house has these really cute curved windows that look really neat on the outside with their little shake awnings, and they open out, which is really nice. Oh, and we have a visitor. Come here. Oh, you can't come in. You're too dirty. We've got a short wall here. It only comes to about here. And then on this side, it comes all the way out to here. And so even the arch is not symmetrical. Not that it has to be, just for my taste. So I got some velvet curtains and some upholstery tacks and put those in. Got some ribbon for tiebacks to make it look even and symmetrical. And you have this little love nest back here. So there's a queen size bed in here, and there's a pretty sizable nook out in the bump of the house, and so I figure that people will be able to store their luggage underneath the bed or in this compartment here that goes deep. I always put a library of books that I've read while I'm out here. Sometimes they'll have to do with the area that I'm at, and then some fun ones. So here I got some like floral pop-up books I thought was pretty cool, and then picked some up from the antique store too. All of the van lifers know the struggle of making a bed in a cove like this, but it also like feels really special. You're just all cuddled in here. I love waking up in the morning and looking out onto the lake. In the morning it's all foggy and misty, and it just looks like a painting. I really like that. I got these really fun little mushroom hooks on this stub wall for your jackets. We have very few flat walls, so how to take advantage of it. All right, let me go show you how to get down to the water. So this is the sauna deck. This unit also came from Igloo Craft. It's amazing. This sauna is the 4-person model. It's about 7 to 8 foot in diameter. So probably the outside is just under 8 foot. The sauna heats up fast. So this deck is just massive, and it was pre-existing. This deck was so big, and patio furniture is so freaking expensive. I ended up taking a bunch of scrap wood mostly and building this half-round bench to fit around this gigantic fire pit that was made here locally. So there's a little marina in town, and you can rent a boat. You don't have to have any experience, literally. Had never driven a boat before, and it was like a 2-minute tutorial. They gave you the keys and you're off. So if you do arrive by boat, the dock is where you're gonna tie up and park, and then you'll come up the ramp and then take the path all the way up to the Cocoon house. You can also see the little mailbox. That's where the mail gets delivered 3 times a week. The thing I really love about each place that I do is how unique they end up being. No two of my places look alike. I really love the evolution of being here, living in the space, and coming up with things on the fly and, being surprised with how it turns out. I really love that part. With all of my builds, I hope that people see this and do the crazy idea that they have in their head. Go build the thing, just take a chance. That's always what I hope to portray.
I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. If you'd like to see tours of some of Kristie's other vacation homes, make sure you check out the links in the description, and I will see you soon with another Unique Space tour.